Welcome to another testimony of God's interactions in my life. This one is about my eyes. Yeah, for all you mechanics out there or wannabes, uh, needle nose pliers, you know what they are, right? They have a long snout and they're narrow at the end. I was doing some brakes one day um, out in the yard here in Missouri. So it had been in early 2001, 2, 3, whatever. And they have tools, that are made to put the brake springs on for rear drum brakes in the back and this and that, and they can grab them and twist them on. And, well, I didn't want to get up, and I had a handy pair of needle nose, and so I was reefing on this. They're very strong springs on brakes, so they just don't pull, And I'm a big guy, so I was pulling on them, and lo and behold, I slipped off, and it came right up, and the needle nose just stuck right in my eye on the inside between, just outside the color of the pupil, not the pupil, but the cornea, and the white part there. Kind of, I jerked it back really quick, and then, and then I jumped up, kind of held my eye, and I said, "Boy, that was really dumb." And now that doesn't seem much, and a lot of people say that's just luck. I don't say that. I say the hand of God guided that away from the center of my pupil and blinded me permanently in one eye. Anyway, the eye went on to heal eventually, and I never went to the doctor. I just uh, kind of got some eye wash and stuff and cleaned it up. Excuse me, and it just kind of healed up on its own in time. But every time I saw that red dot, and that's not the only time. Through the years, I've accidentally splashed things in my eye, everything from gasoline to carburetor cleaner. I've been hit in the eye with flying objects. I've had Susan, my wife, pull pieces of metal out of my eye, and not a single one of them ever did any serious damage and never affected my vision. So that's the eye testimony. So the eyes have it, eh? So if this was so short, I'm just going to add another one to it. Pride. Uh, I've sung my whole life. Just loved to sing. Mother loved to sing. My sister loved to sing. Sisters and brothers, they all loved to sing. And so once I got a guitar early on, when I was young, then I started singing more and more. Less playing the guitar because it was a lot harder than just singing. But fast forward up to 1990, and I was influenced by a lot of different Marines when I was in the Marines. I played guitar, and my first surrogate dad type, the neighbor next door, he played guitars, and his brother and his dad played guitars, and I would go sit into their country western sessions there in the basement and whatnot every weekend or every other weekend whenever they would meet. So this music thing was kind of fed all along the way. Of course, I did get into some stupid music, but the bottom line is we, we kind of became a tenor crooner, if you will, for the old school verbiage. But as I progressed in singing and took it, then when I finally went to college and took choir and took things and got some vocal, uh, not training, but advice on many things. Uh, we got good. So I started when I went back when I was converted to the Lord by the King James Holy Bible, and God supernaturally acting upon that as I read within me, it changed me, and so I started writing songs for God. And I've got a book of all the songs that I've written for God for the purpose of bringing hearts and minds towards Him when they're sung. So we were in Independence. We've been married a few years, and of course, when I searched for my wife, which is another testimony video, she sings, and it went hand in hand with my tone and my harmony. It was a match made from heaven. So we would sing at all the churches, and there were concerts, and we would do there was a concert in the park, so we'd do our deal. We'd have 3 or 4 songs, or whatever. Not it wouldn't be all about us. It's just like a conglomeration of singers. so we were having this. We were uptown Independence, Missouri, just outside Kansas City, and they were going to have another concert. And I don't know. In my mind, I was getting arrogant. That, geez, how come why do we have to wait till the end of the program and all these things and this and that and the other thing? And by the time the program was to begin, my voice was hoarse, and that was it. The Lord took away my voice, which was perfectly fine earlier, but because of the playing around with prideful whatevers in my mind. And that's not the first time I've had lessons from God on pride. But I had to back out. And well, I think I played for Susan and she sang one or two songs. But there was an eye opener. And in continuation along that line, here's the biggest prideful issue with singing. When we got down to where we live now, on a farm in Preston, Missouri, there's a couple of nursing homes here. So we thought, well, we'll start singing. And so the volunteer coordinator said, sure, we'd love it. So we started singing every week, every week for a while, and then that was going to be too much, so we started doing every other week. And we would sing some of my songs, some songs on CDs, a lot of the old hymns, because there's a lot of elderly people in nursing homes. And we really enjoyed it. And I'm thinking, gee, Lord, is this it? Am I going to waste my talent just on older people? And a lot of them, I don't even know if they can. They're sitting there. They look like they're asleep. I mean, there might be a foot tap or a hand tap. Some are, drooling, and some are, they're in a state of life that's pretty tough. Well, it's been 18 years now, and we've never quit the nursing homes except for this COVID. We haven't been in our nursing homes meeting all our people. And what we would do is we would sing, and afterwards for an hour, and then we would shake hands and hi, how you doing, and just converse. But early on, I thought, geez, you're not using my talents here, Lord. They could be like at fairs and this and that. And the voice came to me and said, Miles, you do not know what they hear or how they feel inside. So just sing from your heart and do the best you can every time you sing for the Lord. That was it. And it moved me. And we're blessed. We get blessed by the people. We build relationships, and yes, they all eventually die, just as we will. But it's been a blessing to us. And we've also recruited friends and neighbors, and one particular friend, neighbor, Sid and Gwen, they have been singing with us for probably 10 of those or more, 12 of those years, because we only sang alone for a short time. Anyways, don't let pride get in your way. If you have a gift and talent from God, whatever it is, singing or whatever it is, don't let your pride get in there, because it will, and it does. And there's some tough lessons that can come from that if we don't keep it in check. Have a blessed evening. Get in the Word, stay in the Word, pray before you get in the Word that you may rightly divide it. I use the King James Holy Bible. It's basically the 1769 edition. It's easy to understand if God's given you the understanding. And it's beautifully written as well. And it's also the oldest and the founding Bible of this country. It's the oldest and most sold Bible in the world, over 430 years. But there's a vicious attack out there against it for a multitude of reasons. Good day.